It's Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, July 30th. I'm Tori here with Erica. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm wearing skirts more. It's a little high hiked, but I'm feeling good.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel strong. I got some cold shoulders going. We got Brandon joining us from home. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm feeling great this morning. I read a quote that says, act as if what you do matters because it does. So I'm feeling inspired.
Wow, I appreciate that. It does matter, Brandon. Well, let's get straight into some of these stories that matter as well. With less than 100 days to go, a lot of people are asking, should the election be delayed? So let me back up and tell you what's going on. The president tweeted about it this morning, asking, quote, delay the election until people can properly, securely, and safely vote. States held primary elections this spring in the midst of the pandemic, with some reports of people getting sick after going to vote in person. So many states have expanded vote by mail options, but some worry it could increase the risk of voter fraud, which has, by the way, been debunked by many research polls. DBL Nation, we need to know what you think. Should the election be delayed? We have an action step for you today, so go to dblvote.com to weigh in. I have a theory, but I want to get your take on this. Erica, please.
I don't think the election should be delayed. I think that what's happening here is putting speculation at the forefront in order to create distrust amongst American citizens is a very unfortunate tactic, and it's being used as a election or as a tactic to dissuade people from voting. Another thing is 11 out of 16 states have decided to ease their restrictions based on absentee ballots. This is only progress that's moving us forward. Everyone should be in a position to vote, and I think that this does expand for more eligible voters to be able to vote.
Yeah, so far we're at like 92%. I agree it's a tactic. Also, we all kind of predicted this, Brandon, that if this administration got a little worried, this might play out, that he would say we have to delay the election. I also want to say 15 minutes before he tweeted this out, Brandon, we got some news on our economy. It says the U.S. economy shrank by 32.9% in the second quarter. That's the largest drop we've ever seen in America. 15 minutes later, we get a tweet that says maybe we should delay the election. And let me be clear, because I'm a nerd, the president doesn't have the power to do that. It would take a constitutional amendment or at least Congress to change that. Go ahead, Brandon. What do you think?
Well, Tori, you've been saying it for quite some time now. It's smoke and mirrors tactic. It's a smoke and mirrors tactic. You know, 15 minutes before we get that news. But here's why I feel as though that everyone should still get out and vote. People should mail in, regardless of what you have to do. We still have to vote, because when it comes to, we can't worry about a pandemic, because remember, President Abraham Lincoln was voted in during the Civil War. We had an election during World War II. So this is the most American thing that we can do in terms of choosing who our leader is going to be for our democracy. So I believe that it's what you've alluded to, one of those smoke and mirrors tactics.
Very well said. I think you're right. We've voted during the Great Depression. We voted during other pandemics. So I agree with you. We got the vote back, guys. Wow, 91% of you say no. Should the election be delayed? No. That's a strong majority. If the 9%, if any one of you wants to write in, I'd love to hear your argument on the other side as well. Well, let's move on to the coronavirus, because more than 150,000 Americans have now died from coronavirus. And we just learned this morning that former presidential candidate Herman Cain has died after being hospitalized with COVID-19 at the beginning of the month. He was 74 years old. With the virus continuing to spike in many places across the country, Dr. Anthony Fauci has some new suggestions for Americans looking to lower their risk of catching the virus. So here's what Fauci told ABC News. Take a look.
You have mucosa in the nose, mucosa in the mouth, but you also have mucosa in the eye. Theoretically, you should protect all the mucosal surfaces. So if you have goggles or an eye shield, you should use it.
Okay, so the question is, if many Americans are still so resistant to wearing masks, are you really going to think the country is ready to start wearing goggles or face shields? First off, we want to say Herman Cain may he rest. We want to acknowledge that. He was recently at the Tulsa rally for this administration, President Trump. We don't know if that's why he got it or what happened there, but we do want to acknowledge that and say, may he rest. There he is at the rally. 150,000. Do you think we will actually see face shields, Erica?
I've already seen face shields. People are taking this, you're either taking it very seriously, you're moderate about it, or you don't take it seriously at all. So for people who are taking it very seriously, and keep in mind also, we've made masks fashion.
Yeah, I've
seen shields that are fashion. I actually have a couple in my cart, as we were talking about just adding things to your cart earlier, but maybe not purchasing. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit the purchase button because I think that this is a good idea. And right now would be the best time to try to sort this out and figure out if this is something to add to your arsenal, because it is summer, so you can also block the sun.
This is such a good idea. It's a sunscreen and a sunglasses. I do want to give our audience and our DBL Nation some perspective here. 150,000 is the size of Savannah, Georgia. It's also Midland, Texas, Syracuse, New York, Dayton, Ohio. That's a lot of people. I want to give you one more statistic. That's once a minute someone dies in America from COVID. Once a minute. That had me stopping in my tracks. So I just wanted us to take into perspective how many that is and how many people we're losing. Because sometimes it can just be a number. Brandon, did you have anything to say about that? I just wanted to get your take on, are you going to be wearing a face shield?
I mean, at this point, Tori, I will wear a hazmat suit if I have to. I just want to hug my grandparents, honestly. When I went home to Virginia, I couldn't touch them, and it killed me inside. I know there are a lot of people out there who have experienced death because of this disease of a family member, but I want this to be over, Tori.
Wow.
Like, I just want this to be over. So I'm one of those people where I'll wear whatever you want me to wear, need me to wear, as long as our scientists and our virologists are doing what they have to do and making sure that this vaccine is affordable for all, is healthy for all, and like I said, I just want to hug my grandparents.
Man, that's like the motto for this entire pandemic. I just want to hug my grandparents. Well said. Well, let's move on to this. This is Trader Joe's, and I don't know how to feel about this. It's come under fire recently for its international food labels. So a Change.org petition has called for the company to retire the names like Trader Ming, Trader Jose, Trader Giotto. That's for their Italian sauces and stuff. Well, nearly 5,000 people have signed the petition, which calls the labels racist. Trader Joe's has responded saying, quote, "We disagree that any of these labels are racist. Recently, we've heard from many customers reaffirming that these names variations are largely viewed in exactly the way they were intended, as an attempt to have fun with our product marketing." Erica, are these racist or not?
Well, from my understanding, so it was a student who decided to start this petition, and since then, leaders in respective communities have come forward and said more effective ways that they can really promote the demarginalization of certain cultures and races. Now, I don't ever want to dissuade anyone from speaking their point of view and saying what makes them feel uncomfortable. I do think that we get into a very slippery slope when someone says, this is how it makes me feel, and then we say, that's not the way you feel. Like, people are entitled to feel however they want. Clearly, thousands of people agreed with this young person, and I want people just to feel like they have ownership over themselves, over, their convictions. And however you want to be a leader in your community, then do just that.
That's good. Don't dissuade any voices. Brandon, do you think this is going too far, or do you agree with Erica? Everyone should be able to speak up and voice their opinions.
Well, I agree with Erica in the sense that everyone should be able to speak up and no one should tell you how you should feel. But I do feel as though this is going a little bit too far, because this isn't Uncle Ben or this isn't Aunt Jemima's or the football team from Washington. I don't feel like this is demeaning in a way. Your name is Joe, and if it's a Mexican chips or salsa, they're just changing it from Joe to Trader Jose, which in translation is their version of saying Joe. So I feel as though that this is one of those things where, because we're so heightened right now, everyone's not so much looking for something to pick at, but at the same time, I tip my hat to this young girl who started this petition, because our kids, the next generation, they're seeing the mishaps that we did when it comes to misogyny. And Erica, you tell this to me all the time, our words have power. And I believe that our younger generation is really getting that message, and they're going to be the ones to change the world.
Ooh, salute to the youth. Brandon, stick around. Coming up on DBL, Jessica Simpson actually opens up about sexual abuse she survived as a child and reveals why she actually confronted her alleged tormentor. Plus, a reminder, what we do here at DBL, we are committed to helping get COVID-19 under control. That's why our employees are working from home. We'll be right back.
Introducing
Welcome back to DBL. Well, Jessica Simpson opened up about forgiving the person who allegedly abused her as a child. Wow. Jessica first revealed she was sexually abused by a family friend in her memoir, Open Book. She said the girl was also being abused by her boyfriend. So 2 different levels there at the time. Jessica spoke with Catherine Schwarzenegger Pratt about confronting the woman 8 years ago. Let's take a listen.
I told her in the moment, like, you know, I know that you have a lot to deal with. And I told her that I think that she should probably talk to someone and find a way to understand those moments and to forgive those moments and to heal from those moments. And I just want you to know that I forgive you.
Forgiveness. That is not an easy thing to do to someone who tormented your youth and probably torments your thoughts as you're an adult. Do you think you could ever forgive with something like that, Erica?
I have forgiven things that have happened to me because I do believe that that becomes stifling to my growth. There comes a time where you have to be strong enough to forgive even without an apology, because then you're able to emancipate your life. And I think when you have a conversation like that so openly, then that also means that you're in a journey where you're in a part of a healing space that it doesn't have you anymore.
Right.
So I really commend her for being so transparent about
I do
that.
too. I got to be honest. When I first saw Newlyweds and heard Jessica Simpson, I never knew she had this depth, but I'm really excited and I'm really enthralled to learn more about her. I want to read that book because I appreciate this transparency on this. Brandon, I want to get your take on this next story. Demi Moore reveals that she changed herself for the men that she dated and even married in the past. So Demi has been married 3 different times, most notably to actor Bruce Willis, and later, of course, to Ashton Kutcher, whom she divorced in 2013. And speaking on the Jess Cagle show, Demi revealed that she wasn't exactly her authentic self during these relationships. So take a look at this.
For me, I had changed myself so many times over and over to fit what I thought somebody else wanted. It's that idea that we're kind of conditioned to work towards being desired, but we're not supposed to have desires of our own.
Okay, Brandon, I will be super honest. That was me my entire romantic life. I changed myself constantly for a partner. I'm sure DBL Nation, there's some out there saying, yes, amen, I did that too. Is this something in your life as well or no?
Tori, I'm struggling, and I'm glad that you're so open about this because I would love to get your feedback on this. I'm struggling with trying to reckon with the fact of, or how much is changing myself and how much of it is compromising to be with someone. So can you give us some tea, or can you give us some information on that? Because I'm lost. I'm lost.
I know what you mean. It's a really good question. I usually ask Erica on things like this. But to be honest, I think when your gut feels that you've crossed a line and you've violated your own integrity, that feels more like a compromise, right? When it worked for me and Brooks was when we complemented each other, and all of a sudden he was helping me and I was helping him, and no one was compromising. Is that what you would say?
I think you are compromising because you're coming together as one.
See, that's what I said.
2 are stronger than 1.
2 are stronger than 1. That's what I said. Did you guys hear it? It came out of my mouth. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is one I love, and it's all about overcoming the odds. So watch how a couple beat coronavirus together after already claiming victory over another major health battle.
This couple survived COVID-19 to celebrate 46 years together. As Robert and Janice Beecham's 46th wedding anniversary approached,
Robert began feeling sick.
Shortness of breath, loss of appetite, smell and taste, totally gone. And then the cough.
A 2-time stroke survivor, Robert eventually headed to the hospital. Robert was diagnosed with the coronavirus.
And I felt so helpless. And I'm like, I gotta get to him.
But Janice, who was battling cancer, learned she also had COVID-19. While Janice's case was mild, she and Robert could not be together. As Robert began to recover, Dr. Sayatak Nayak helped him plan a home quarantine so Robert could go home to Janice safely. Robert was discharged in time for his 46th anniversary with Janice, and he wanted to thank Dr. Nayak.
I never had a chance to shake his hand. I've never seen him without the shield, the plastic shield. I've never seen his face.
But Robert had helped Dr. Nayak more than he knew. Because he was Dr. Nayak's first successful COVID-19 discharge.
You know, he called me on his wedding anniversary. My wife was in the car, and he was, just expressing his gratitude and his heartfelt appreciation for all the work we've done. And, it brought tears to our eyes. And this is why we do what we do. We bring families back together.
Some good news, right? Well, up next, it's DBL Deal Blast. More good news, low prices on amazing products for everyone in your fam.
Promotion.
Welcome back to DBL. Erica, guess what?
What?
It's time for some sweet, sweet deals.
Well, you know how I love those sweet, sweet deals.
That's exactly right. Earlier, Steph showed me some amazing products at even better prices. Here's this week's DBL Deal Blast presented by MorningSave.com. All right, what do you have for us today, Stephanie?
So first up is this absolute must-have for your home. It's the SwissTech UV Clean Pro Sanitizer with wireless charging. Now, this can eliminate 99.99 types of bacteria. And the best bit is, Tori, not only does it keep everything really clean and sanitized, but you can charge your phone on the top of it too.
Whoa.
This is normally $300.
Right.
But right now, it's only $49, which means you're saving 84%.
Yes!
If you want pearly white, this is for you. It's the Aquasonic Vibe Series Ultra Whitening Toothbrush. So this is a world-class modern electric toothbrush, and it can remove up to 10 times more plaque along your gum line than a manual toothbrush. It comes with 8 different heads.
Oh, that's nice.
So you can like change them, and it comes also with a travel case for when you're on the go, so you can keep it nice and sanitized. Now normally this is $150, but right now it's only $35, Tori, which means you're saving 77%. Who doesn't like, Tori, listening to music while you're working out or while you're out and about on the go? The Clear Audio Edge Pulse In-Ear Wireless Heart Rate Headphones. So they're really small, they're really lightweight, super easy to set up. They've got infrared sensors, which mean they can like really check in on your heart rate, and you can monitor them. So these are normally $150, right?
Yeah.
Right now, they're only $25. I have got the perfect way to upgrade your bedroom. With this, it's the Cloth & Gable 4-piece essential sheet set. You'll never have to worry about ironing again, Tori, because it's wrinkle-free. That's the kind of language I'm talking about. It's hypoallergenic. Normally, this would cost you $90, but right now it's only $29, which means you're saving 68%.
All right, guys, head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. Some of those were outrageous. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. Okay, so I want to get the ear heart monitors to go power walk. I'm going to start power walking.
Oh, good for you.
Right. You think it'll look weird?
No, everybody has something in their ears walking around.
No, but will this look weird?
Well, yeah, if you're going to do it like that, I think there might be a more effective way to do it. The wireless charger is really the steal.
And it sanitizes.
Right,
Unbelievable.
exactly.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Have a good one, guys. Have a good one.